Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's main event of the evening, measuring in at 7 inches tall, the Last Ronin from Neca. And in this corner, measuring in at 5 inches tall, the Last Ronin from Playmates. Stick around till the end of the video to find out who comes out on top. What's going on, dudes and dudettes? Welcome to another comic book shop review. Today we're hanging out at my favorite toys and collectibles shop, Boob Tube Collectibles in Englishtown, New Jersey. So today on the channel we're checking out the Last Ronin figures from Neca Toys and Playmates Toys, based on the 2020 comic book from Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird, Ben Bishop, and Tom Waltz. A New York Times bestseller and easily one of my personal favorite comic books from the last few years. But before we jump into these figures, let's check out the packaging real quick. On the Playmates box, you got some nice Last Ronin artwork, also a nice open display window to show the figure. Neca's box art is always clean as usual. On the front, we got some Last Ronin artwork from Ben Bishop. Open up the Velcro flap for a nice clean look at the figure. Here's a shot of both sides. Here's a shot of the other side. Here's a shot of the back. On the back of both boxes, you get a bio for the Last Ronin. You get some promo shots on the Neca box. And on the back of the Playmates box, you got a cover of the first issue. All right, let's bust these bad boys out of the box and dive into them. All right, so I'm going to assume if you're watching this video, you've hopefully read the comics. But if for some reason you haven't, here's your spoiler warning. Michelangelo is the Last Ronin. It's been over 2 years. Read the damn comics.
And I thought insurance salesmen were pushy.
Yeah, at this point, we can just expect that Neca is going to be on point with their figure designs. Their attention to detail, everything about the figure is always top notch. And as always, Neca gives us a slew of accessories. We get a bunch of extra hands, we get a sai, we get a bow staff, we get a tonfa, we get an extra head sculpt, we get an extra bandana, we get Mikey's nunchucks, we get Leo's katana, a sheath for it, 4 ninja stars, a grenade, and we also get a really cool grappling hook. Yeah, taking an up-close look at this figure, Neca definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. Mikey's looking mean, Mikey's looking rough, the outfit's looking beat up, the weathering all over the place, the battle damage, the leather looks really nice, the details, the wrinkles, his face sculpt is on point. You can take the hood off, so you can display him without the hood, or with the hood. You got a bunch of options on the belt to hold the weapons. You got more options back here. You got right here. Yeah, everything about this figure, Neca definitely knocked it out of the park.
He gets one in the air to deep left field.
All right, so as far as articulation goes, you got a full 360 in the head. Head looks down, head looks up, even with the hood accessory on. My shoulder joints on Mikey are super tight, so I would definitely suggest heating him up before you try to push it. But you got a butterfly joint in there. You got a double joint in the elbow. You got a full 360 in the wrist. There's no ab crunch, obviously, because this figure's kind of bulky. But you do have a waist swivel. There's no thigh cut. You do have some nice split action there. Ball joints down there. You got a double joint in the knee. Foot looks down. Foot goes up. Rock left. Rock right. All right, so I almost want to bite my tongue before I say this next sentence, but I actually like this figure from Playmates, and that felt really dirty saying that. But like anyone who knows me knows that I can't stand Playmates, and I've pretty much hated everything they have done over the last like 10 years. But I fucking tip my hat to Playmates on this figure. It's not that same boring mold that we've been getting since like 2014. It doesn't have those cross fucking eyes, and the scale isn't gigantic like the figures usually are. This figure looks like it would scale up really nicely with the OG figures from the 80s and 90s, and that's honestly all I've wanted from Playmates. Give us new sculpts in the vintage style, and you'll have a customer with me pretty much till the day I die. Usually Playmates skimps out on the accessory game, but with this figure, we get a bunch of stuff. We get Raphael's sai, we get 4 ninja stars, we get 2 nunchucks.
Oh, a fellow chucker, eh?
We get 2 of Leo's katanas, 1 which is broken. We get Donnie's bow staff, and also if you see hanging from his belt, we get the grappling hook. So obviously this figure isn't going to be in the same league as a Neca figure when it comes to like the intricate design and the attention to detail on their figures, but Playmates did a really good job of this thing. It's a nice, clean, simple look. It looks just like the Last Ronin, but like a slightly more like cartoony, nostalgic, like vintage style version of it, and I'm 100% for it. So as far as articulation goes, you're not going to get much out of the head. Like this kind of moves a little bit, but being that it's in there, his head really doesn't move, and this piece doesn't come off the way it does with the Neca figure. But like the figure feels really good in hand. You got a butterfly joint there, it moves really smoothly. You got a double joint in the elbow. You got a swivel in the wrist. You get a little bit of rotation in the waist. You got a double joint in the knee. You're not going to get as much with the foot like you do with the Neca figure, but you do get some movement there. Yeah, so this thing looks great. It's definitely a win in my book. All right, and just to do a quick scale comparison, we got the OG Playmates mold. We got that 2014 Playmates mold that I can't fucking stand. And our NECA guy stands at 7 inches, and our Playmates one stands at 5. All right, so at this point, I think we're just straight up spoiled from the production from the NECA figures. This figure literally looks like it just jumped straight off the comic book pages. And as far as the figure from Playmates goes, this thing is 100% a breath of fresh air. It's not the usual lazy piece of trash that Playmates produces. So show it or throw it. I'm showing it. Both of these figures are wins in my book. NECA, as always, continues to just produce premium action figures, and this could be a new leaf for Playmates if they can just stay in their lane and keep on doing figures in this style. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us in the shop and checking out this video. And definitely check out BoobTube Collectibles if you're ever in the Englishtown, New Jersey area. They got Marvel Legends, Funko Pops, Super 7, McFarlane toys, basically anything you want to get to scratch that nerdy itch. Stop by the shop, definitely show some love, say what's up to Heath, say what's up to Chris, and tell him I sent you. Links to the shop will be in the description below. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until the next one, guys, later.